I don't know about you guys, but we've been going through some hard times during this pandemic.
And speaking of pandemics, this pandemic has been a year-long disaster for a lot of people. And but we're back. Leo, Angel Adams,
yes.
Hello, we're back, and we're going to share some topics with you to help strengthen your marriage, just like before.
And we're going to also be transparent about some things that happened to us and how we overcame.
Right.
You're watching an MSW production.
One of the things that happened to us is before we left you, we were pregnant.
That's
and
right.
Now we have an 11-month-old baby named Princeton, and he has been a joy to us. So we have taken a break and just building our family and loving on this little man and the other three of our other son, 2 daughters. Wonderful. We wouldn't trade that moment for the world.
For the world. I will start off with this. One thing that happened to us at the beginning of the pandemic was we had to move.
Yeah, we had to move. We had a serious breakdown. On top of having to move, we were in the hospital giving birth to Princeton. And
while I was giving birth,
I was moving. So the biggest blessing that came out of that was not only my son, but we were able to purchase our home.
Yep, and it was a long process. We went 10 months, I think we searched for a home and got prepared financially for the home, and we finally found the perfect one that we wanted, but it was hard.
Exactly.
And during that time we
went through some hard topics or hard issues and struggles, but one of the struggles that I do want to talk about and pinpoint are the finances. I had a hard time merging our finances and resources, and I'm gonna be transparent with you fellas. I mean, we get on our high horse a lot of times, and we want to be the provider, and we want to make sure our dividends are what they are so that we can do what we need to do for our family. But my sister and as we went, that was a big breakdown in between us. And I confided in my sister and her husband about it. And God bless them, Lisa and Derek Howell. God bless y'all. Because what she shared with me was the same struggle she had with relinquishing that control to her husband was the same struggles that I had relinquishing to my wife. Now, she's stronger in that area in finances, and the girl is bad, and I knew this, so I wanted to strengthen that area, but, not to say I'm so weak in that area, but she is much stronger in that area. So I learned to just relinquish that control over to my wife, and we merged, and dang, blessings came out of it. But what my sister said was that her husband, as he talked to her, he says, if we're going to be one, then our finances have to be one in order for us to grow together. So we have to relinquish that trust and those insecurities so that we can flourish. And we did that, and God blessed us.
And one area that he's stronger in that I'm weak in is communication. I don't like really talking about my feelings. I'm kind of passive aggressive when it comes to that. So I'm gonna shut down. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna walk in circles. I ain't gonna tell you what's going on, but we got better through having to separate during the marriage and during the move. And he was living with a family member. I was living with another family member.
Right. Yeah, it was a very fast moving process, so we had to be placed and everything. But in the process, we remained together. But, like she had stated in our levels of communication is that being apart will cause our minds to wander sometimes. Mm-hmm. And in that struggle, like you are assuming that something might be going on in the free time that is not going on. What is he doing, or what is she doing?
I was like, he's not answering the phone. So I know he's not at work, and you're not there to go in the other room to see what they're doing. So you sitting there wondering and looking at your phone like, why is he not calling me back? I'm his whole life. Like, I got the kids here. He should be calling me back. Yeah. And he's, my mind starts to wonder. He'll call me back, and he's probably asleep or something.
Yeah, and I'm like, baby, I just got off work. I'm 12-hour shift at night. But it's daytime. I sleep during the day. I got to go back to work tonight. It's one of those types of things. But we understood each other, and then we come together. It was like she said, we like teenagers again. You know what I mean?
Or else I would just not answer the phone when he called, you know, because I'm passive aggressive. Or when he called, I got a little attitude because he didn't answer my phone call. So now I'm rolling my eyes and he's like, "What's wrong?" "Nothing."
I'm like, where was y'all? Y'all must have been out and about and everything. I was trying to be all rational and reasonable and everything. Who you spending your time with, you know? So, you know, with that being said, we came together. We recognized where our weaknesses were and where our strengths were. And we brought those strengths together and discarded those things that were unnecessary and that were just useless, which he called the nothings. Mm-hmm. That came from what film?
The Never-Ending Story.
The Never-Ending Story. The nothings that just made everything
the fall
out of
Fantasia.
Right. So when those nothings come about in your marriage or in your relationship, then you discard all that foolishness and get on one accord with each other, communicate, open up to each other, and let each other know where the breakdown of communications were.
Yes, and then we found new ways with living in two separate households. We found ways to be creative intimately.
Oh yeah. Where there's a will, there is a way. I promise you.
And we made a way.
Okay. So the lesson in all of this is first prayer. Consecration, checking yourself, examining yourself to see where you're wrong, and humbling yourself enough to be able to make the changes so that you can build and, first of all, find out your purpose. What is this all for? So when you're making those changes, you are making those changes for the purpose of growing with the person you say you love. And that's the biggest thing. That's number one.
Yeah. Second thing is to be creative. Always find new ways to love your spouse. Even on those days that it's hard, even on those days that you do not want to, you have to discipline yourself and know what is in front of you, know who you have, and always keep that in the back of your mind so you won't throw out the big D word, which is divorce.
Right. And the third is communication. Open up. Let your spouse in. Let that person you say you love into that room and into that space that you hold dear and you keep sheltered. Let them in so they can see how beautifully decorated that room is.
Yes.
Okay? So with that being said, I am Leo Adams.
And I am Angel Adams.
And we love y'all. We want y'all to subscribe to our page.
Yes.
And that information is at the bottom of your screen.
That's right.
And I want y'all to go in, like, and subscribe.
And share.
And
leave a comment. Leave a review. Let us know some topics that you want us to discuss. Let us know some things that you want to hear about. If you have any personal questions for us, please put them down there as well. We would love to answer. And you can also inbox us for a personal conversation.
Absolutely. So we love you. We ask that you stay prayerful in this pandemic. And hearts go out to those who have lost loved ones in this pandemic. And prayers are going up, y'all. Let's stay prayerful.
We love you.
We love you.